you can really only plan so much of a trip. The rest you leave up to the weather, the people, the surprises along the way, and maybe every day won't be exactly like you imagined, but it might be way better.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are on a boat to Iona today.
Perfect day for a boat ride here in Scotland.
Oh my god, we're taking like a very short 5-minute ferry, and the boat's like woo, woo. The weather out here, it's a little wild.
They actually canceled this yesterday, so it's lucky that we're on it today.
And we're going on like a long 1-hour boat ride today. I'm a little nervous.
Should be interesting.
How's your trip?
Oh, wake you up.
Farm.
Do you even know where it is? Like,
let's just go.
This is Wes. He wants to go do everything, but he doesn't know where it is or how to get there.
That's such a woman thing to say.
Then I have to look it up, and then he says that I take so long and he's always waiting for me. So it's 15 here.
Oh, it's pretty close. Look, this is what it looks like in the summer. Looks like Croatia or Greece or something. Let's follow the cat, fella, and see where he goes. Meow. Who's my new little friend? Yes, you are. Oh, he doesn't look happy. Oh.
This is part 2 of our trip here with Rabbies. We're on the island of Iona, and we were on the island of Mull. So I was looking at a map. I think this is one of the most remote places we've ever been to, and one of the furthest north that we've ever been to, because we haven't seen any of the northern countries yet. It is quiet, it is small, it's hard to picture what it's like to live here, but it's really different from anything we've seen, even different than Ireland, I think.
One of my favorite things is that there's no fences. We're literally about to walk up to sheep, and there's no fence. This is like a road and there's sheep. Now the big question is, how friendly are sheep?
Well, I don't know. You don't want to find out because these have horns.
Hi, buddy. Oh, I love these cows. This guy's just sitting here though. Come on and play with us. Come hang out with us.
If anyone knows why the bulls have a ring, can you let us know? We have no data. And it looks like the sun is coming out. Fingers crossed, because this water, in the photos at least, it looks turquoise. Today it looks like a hurricane. This little boat is going to take us to Staffa Island, where there's this really, really cool cave here. We're seeing blue skies for the first time since this whole trip. They've canceled this a bunch of times this week because of the weather. I think it's going to be really good. Wes, on the other hand, called this our coffin because he's not looking forward to it. The waves won't be so bad.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see the sun because of this big boat ride. Very rocky, and you get a little seasick.
There's your cat.
Oh, do you mean the cat that scratched me? You son of a...
The Abbey here at Iona is pretty sacred. A lot of people come here if you're particularly religious. This building plays a big part of Christianity. It was founded by Saint Columba in 500 something. Really interesting to hear all the history around here. You may also visit Iona if you're a birder, a fan of birds, because the puffins come here in August, I believe. And they're super cute, but we won't get to see them this time.
The water's kind of turquoise now, Fel.
See? This is what we came for.
There's no other feeling when I'm next to you. No one else around.
And let's put our coats on.
Might be a wet one.
Oh my goodness, it's so big.
There's no better feeling when I'm close to you. I look into your eyes as an ocean blue. When I'm down, you lift my feet off the ground.
It's soaking wet. I'm soaked. Craziest boat ride I've ever been on. Almost cute.
There's no better feeling when I'm close to you. I look into your eyes as an ocean blue. When I'm down,
we can actually get off and walk right up this whole thing.
By some miracle, we made it to land. Honestly, like, I think my shoes are full of...
It's because we were facing the wind. That's where all the water was coming from.
Not for anything, but that was probably the roughest ride I've ever been on. The waves won't be so bad. And it does seem like in the movies when you're in a little fisherman's boat and there's a storm and you're about to tip over. That's what it felt like. One poor guy got sick on our boat. But we're here at Fingal's Cave.
It's not normally like that though. Oh, we made it!
This is what we came for, and it's like even better than I could imagine. I didn't know we could get off the boat and come right to the cave.
Yeah, there's like no one lives on this cave. This place is like in the middle of really nowhere.
No one lives on the island.
Or the island, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are the same formations, the volcanic rock, same ones that we saw on the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. But these are cooler, way cooler.
So normally you can go inside the cave, but because they're doing some construction on like the walkway, we can't go in.
I think this is one of the most amazing caves in the whole country, or like the whole world, maybe. Can you tell I like it? Such an awesome experience, guys. This has to be one of the highlights for the whole trip for me here in Scotland.
We've climbed to the top of this like huge little island.
Huge little island.
Huge little island. And now we're trying to get a view from the other side of the rock. Here comes the view.
Wow. And a rainbow. Nice. We just got to the top of Staffa Island. Come to terms with the fact that my feet are soaking wet. And this is definitely one of those cases where we're really loving a place that we had never even heard of before. I didn't even know Scotland had this many islands. And here we are in the middle of nowhere on a tiny island that's so beautiful.
Take a deep breath and get in. We'll travel the world as we sing. Our favorite songs will be king.
Morning, Felicia. How are you today?
What kind of accent was that?
Oh, that wasn't Scottish?
No.
Okay, we're just waiting for our ferry now. We're gonna give you a tour of our tour bus.
Our home.
Our home, yeah. We're here with a tour company called Abbey's. It is a Mercedes tour bus, and it is called a mini coach, 16-seater.
Got 2 seats on one side, 1 on the other, and ginormous windows. And I love that you don't have to, oops, there's a step here. You don't have to drive on these tours. Like, you can just sit back and
not plan anything.
And our guide Paul, he's such a good storyteller. He's sharing all these tales and legends and things that we wouldn't have otherwise known about. And then he plays Gaelic music, and it just adds to the whole feel of the ride. It's been a good time.
We be going on a ferry, we be going on a ferry.
New song.
We be.
Uh-oh.
Push, Fel. No, no, no. Push.
I don't want to touch it. Almost ate my head.
So on some of these islands and maybe some of the small towns here in Scotland, they have like 1-lane roads. And they have that in Ireland too, but here in Scotland, every like, I don't know, 100 meters or whatever, they have like a little turnoff so you can let people in, and then there's like usually like a pole indicating where the turnoff is. So people are coming at each other, and then one guy flashes lights, he lets the guy through, and everyone gives a high five and or a thumbs up. Oh, it's just a different way to do it, I guess. You know, we see something new every day, and now I just seen black sheep. I thought those are cows the whole time. Black sheep.
She stands by the window, stares at the moon.
Yeah. Let's do it, huh? Are you gonna jump in?
Whoa, this is a burial?
I don't know.
Huh?
Oh.
Impressive.
What are you wearing, high heels?
My other shoes are still soaking wet from yesterday. I heard on a podcast that we're meant to live in smaller civilizations. Our cities are way too big, like with hundreds of thousands of people. But back in the day, we thrived in really small communities. So there would be one person who was like the best baker and one person was the best artist, because you were living with like maybe 100 or 200 other people, and we're coming to these really small towns and that's what you see. You see like the local butcher, the local this and that. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but so we should move to a small town. We'd be the best video makers there.
And when you live in a big city, it's easy to get discouraged because there's so much competition and then you might give up on your dream. But here, you get to do what you're good at. And now we're gonna look at some standing stones. There's just no way to understand Scotland in a week. Like, you practically need a lifetime to experience all this. We spent some time in these beautifully remote little areas, and now suddenly a place we'd never heard of before becomes a highlight of this whole trip for us. I guess sometimes you don't know what's on your bucket list until you actually go.